What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Uncle Smokey Stock Trades. Before I start this video, I would like to say I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. So please take what I say with a grain of salt and do your own DD. Today we're going to talk about ticker symbol MMAT, Metamaterials Inc. We're going to break down the TA. We're going to go through finviz.com. We're going to go through the Ortex data, options. We're going to look at Fintel. We've got some news that broke today. And of course, at the end of the video, we're going to do my prediction. So today we opened up at $3.45. Right out of the gate, busted up with a high of $3.50 and then shot straight down to $3.22 with a close of $3.27, down about 5% on the day. Now, with that being said, we also were very low in the volume category. We only had about 8.8 million in volume, which is extremely low compared to our 20 million average. So we were less than half. We're talking like only 40% of our regular volume. Now, I do want to show you that today we traded 100% again with our sector, which is no surprise because now we are in our sector. As you see, AMAT, TXN, TEL, AVGO, all of them coming right out of the gates red. Basically consolidating through the end of the day, finishing down, every single one of them. Also, we're going to go ahead and look at Finviz. Just to confirm, there it is, semiconductors. This is our category. This is our category. Everything was down. Not a green category, not a green company in sight. Not a single one. So don't sweat the small stuff. Yes, we were down. Yes, most of these are only down 1% and 2%. But remember, we're a very small number. We're not trading at a high number. So a 20-cent drop could be a 5% dip, as you've seen today. So I wouldn't sweat the whole 5% down on the day, especially since we traded with our category, our sector. So that's a very good thing. Let's go back to the chart. Now I'm going to pull us back to the 5-minute and show you that right there, it looks exactly like all the rest of them. Came down in the morning and basically traded sideways. Now, we did attempt to break out a couple times here, and were unsuccessful, of course, due to shorting. Now, I did draw this $3.20 line several days ago. In fact, if you refer back to one of my first videos, I believe it was the second one, or maybe even the third one, where I did include this line and explaining why I put it down here. If you were to take this all the way back into the 30-minute and look way back here, back when it was torch, we were able to respect that line pretty well. Right back here. So that's why that line is there. Now, one of the other things I'd like to show you is yesterday I called out for the stock to be a little bearish. I wasn't expecting for it to come all the way down to the 320s bearish, but it did follow my prediction actually quite well. If I would have just brought the initial dip down a little further, it did follow me exactly, including the consolidation into the end. Now, always remember, guys, I say consolidation is fantastic. No matter where it's at, when you consolidate, a stock is just gaining a level of support. It's gaining a base. And that's always a very good signal. It's always a good thing to have, as a good sturdy base. And, you know, with any building you erect, you want a good foundation. And that's basically what we're doing right now with this consolidation phase. Yes, granted, it is in a downward channel, but it's consolidation nonetheless. Now, let's go ahead and cut on over to the options chain. This is a very interesting day today, guys. So our IV did come down today to 186. It was up at about 191 yesterday. So it's always good to have the IV drop. We always want it to stay below 200. Personally, I'd like to see it get below 170. But anything below 200 is good. It makes the stock a little bit more favorable. It makes people look at it a little bit better. Now, today we traded 9,544 volume in calls and then only 896 in puts. Guys, that's like 90-10. It doesn't get any better than that, other than going 100%. 100% calls. And yet still, we came down today. It is a little bit exhausting on how this is happening. And yes, we all know that it is shorts, short attacks, short ladder attacks. We know that. And there's really nothing any of us can do about it other than hold. That is the most important thing you can do in these types of situations, is hold. Selling is just giving the shorts the ability to cover their shares without any work involved at all. They don't have to do anything. They just buy your shares at a very low cost and they enter them back into the market. There you go, done. So with the options chain looking as very bullish as it is today, I just got to say, I'm very excited for tomorrow. Now, keep in mind, I have been saying that I felt the T+21 doesn't end until today at the earliest, and then possibly tomorrow. I feel more tomorrow, and with this kind of call to put ratio today, and the fact that as the stock goes as a whole, we were able to keep ourselves steady all day long, and have been able to do that over the course of the last several days, keeping ourselves steady. Again, even if it is in a downward channel, it is consolidation. Let's go ahead and move on over the Ortex data. So I'm very pleased in what I'm seeing today. If you'll look right over here to the top right of my screen, you're going to see the utilization skyrocket today. It went from 60% to 73.86%. And I'm going to tell you, that's insane. That's a 13% jump during the day. Now, this may be a part of T2 settlement. I'm not quite sure. And if it is, again, I can take you back to the chart and show you that a couple of days ago we did have a big short situation here, so this could help our situation with this utilization. Also, right over here we had a lot of buying, and we know that we had two big investors buy in yesterday, so that could have been what contributed to our utilization skyrocketing up today. We did have a short interest change of a negative 2.87%, and we're basically net neutral again on the day. Return shares of 4.3 million, borrowed shares of 3.71 million. Now again, this is also only reported. Big Brother's around, you're not going to report, the bad stuff. You're only going to report what you did legitimately. So this is only reported data, and of course also only across 85% of the exchanges. I'm done focusing on Ortex for today. Let's go ahead and move right on over to Fintel, which is probably my favorite site for being able to get good, accurate information in my trades daily, intraday, and of course the ability to look towards future trades as well. So today I want to start with the owners category again, like we did yesterday, but there was no institutional buyers today. What we did have, though, was an institutional seller. Now you'll notice when a company closes their position, it goes red. Now, they always say this, negative 100. Kind of scary, isn't it? Well, what I've done is I went ahead and pulled up the chart of what this means. Creative Financial Designs Inc. Advanced has filed a 13F from disclosing ownership of 0 shares of Meta Materials. Now remember, they have to file the 13F whenever they change their position of more than half of their position, or when they close it out completely. So they now have a value of $0, 0 shares for this company. You ready for this? You want to know how many shares they sold? 1,000. They sold 1,000 shares, guys. I almost have that many shares. I'm 60 shy. That's not impressive. That's not a reason for the stock to do this during the day. That's not a reason. 1,000 shares is this red one right here. This guy right here. That's 1,000 shares. That's all that is. Which also shows the significance we have in the stock market. If a guy like me holding almost 1,000 shares is just this little tiny red line, that's the significance we have. So that proves that a small position moving in and out of the stock market isn't going to throw a line going from 350 to 322 in 45 minutes. It's just not going to happen. So, again, I'm not a speculative trader. However, there is manipulation, and we know that. And unfortunately, that's all we can do is speculate on manipulation. We're going to go ahead and keep moving on with the Fintel. We're going to look at the short interest. Now, I want to clear up a little bit of a misunderstanding about the short shares availability with Fintel data. Now, this is with Mmat. I don't want anybody to think that I'm screwing them over or telling them false information. Mmat right there. Short volume ratio is 34.23%. That is a real number. Your short interest percent of the float is about 6.56%. Now, again, Fintel is slightly skewed, just like Ortex is. They only get reported data and only across a certain number of the exchanges. Now, right down here, short shares availability. This table shows the number of shares of Mmat that are available to be shorted at a leading prime brokerage. Now, that leading prime brokerage, to my knowledge and opinion, I do believe is Citadel. Anyhow, we're not going to speculate. It is not the total number of shares available to short, nor is it the short interest. It does not include data from other brokers or dark pools. Again, this is a leading prime broker. One leading prime broker. Granted, it's a very large leading prime broker. It is just one. Okay, it is a small sample and is useful for tracking the rise and fall demand of the shares throughout the days and weeks. Should not be treated as an absolute number of shares and are available short in the market. This is just a gauge. It is just a gauge. Okay, this is like looking at your RPM gauge in your car and seeing how fast you're going compared to what your engine's doing, what the RPMs are doing. This is just a barometer, a gauge. That's all this is. Okay, if the stock's coming down real hard, you can look at this and go, hey, this one prime broker has shown that it has gone from 1.5 million to shorting out 1 more million out there, and then another 400 million, and then it returned some, and then it shorted some more, and then it returned some, and then it returned some more, and a few more, and a few more, and of course going on throughout the day. Now, we're going to move right on down here. We all know what the short borrow fee rate is. This is the next thing. We've covered this a very little bit. Short sale volume, CBOE, Chicago. Oh, I just had it up here. That's right here. CBOE. That's still the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. So now you've got FINRA data, total volume, FINRA short volume. This is options. Okay, so that's what they deal with, is the options end of it. Now, here's what's funny. The 26th and the 27th have not been reported. They report every single day. They have not yet been reported. And of course, I, with my tinfoil hat on, keep talking about over here, these two guys right here. What the heck's going on with these two guys, right? Look at this. Here, let's bring them up. Let's see if there's any activity. You know, stuff changed a little bit. Nothing in the volume category. Maybe they're listening to me. Let's see if this one changed. Oh, yeah, over here. Oh, we got someone buying them. What's going on here, guys? I don't know. All right, I'm going to take my tinfoil hat off again. Go back over here. So I'm really hoping to see this tomorrow. I'm hoping all of this clears up tomorrow. And again, here's why. T+21 ends tomorrow. This is my theory. Again, just an opinion, not a financial advisor. Take it for what it is. But it's no coincidence that Monday and Tuesday's trading activities have not been disclosed from the Chicago Board of Options Exchange to this site, or really anywhere for that matter, and it's coming up on the what I consider end of the T+21, and we've got some hanky options up in the options chain. Okay, so we're going to keep pressing on. I want to end this really quickly. CBOE, if you want to look at it, it's right here. You can go to investopedia.com, basically look up anything you want when it comes right down to trading. If you want to know anything about investing and trading in the stock market, investopedia.com is a very, very reliable website. They're going to give you straightforward answers. They're going to give you explanations, key takeaways, charts. I mean, it's the workup. So if you want to learn anything more about the CBOE and the VIX, because this is who created the VIX, all right, and I'm sure if you follow Twitter, you know of Short the VIX. So he doesn't like these guys. Last thing, the news. Well, almost the last thing, the news. Welcome HR manager Monica Driscoll. So she's coming to us from Aerospace and Defense. IMP Aerospace and Defense. That's fantastic. So again, we were talking the other day in my really long, extensive video that we have defense and aerospace capabilities with our film, with our holo films, and the new glasses for keeping the green lasers out. All right, so it's really great to see that we're bringing people in from the sectors that we are trying to focus on, as well as, of course, our old news of old Darren Imels here. He 30 years of experience with the whatever that word is products, ophthalmic products, basically glasses. He's going to start pushing the AR Fusion. I'm really seeing a lot of great application with seeing the computer screens in your lenses, guys. This is going to be really excited. I'm really, really excited for that. I've always wanted it to happen ever since I watched RoboCop back in the 80s. I'm old. All right, let's end the video. Let's go back to the chart. Let's talk about what may happen tomorrow. What I'm really hoping to see tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to try and draw lines on this chart today. Just because, well, you know what? I'm going to put you on a brief pause. All right, so there's our lines. So here's what I'm calling out for tomorrow. Obviously, I always say take the aftermarket to pre-market with a grain of salt. This could do absolutely anything. So I just draw a crazy line. I'm hoping for it to be super, super bullish. Shoot up to 340. Of course, in pre-market, it always drops down. And then kind of hammer back up. That's what I'm really hoping for. Now, at the open, here's what I'm seeing. If it goes bullish, okay, we're going to go up. We're going to blow past 340. We're going to tap off 350, come down. We're going to test 340 maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. I don't really know, okay? It's going to be kind of violent and kind of quick if we go bullish. We're going to break through 350 and then hover right on top of it, 350 to 355, maybe even touching 360. That is if we move bullish. That is what I see. And believe me, I hope we go bullish. I feel we are going to be bullish tomorrow, okay? That is how I am feeling. Now, if the off chance and we go bearish, we're probably going to go ahead and do our little test up tomorrow, and then we'll be rejected right around the 335 range, coming down, and we'll consolidate hopefully in that 320 to 330 range, staying above this 320 marker. That's what I'm seeing for tomorrow. I hope that I'm right on the bullish side, not so much on the bearish side. If we go down anymore, I can't chart it. I don't know where it's going to go. There's no known bottoms on MMAT down here. We just don't know. It's been too long. That long past torch history is void. So with that being said, this is the end of my video. Like, subscribe, comment. If you need to correct me, correct me. If you think I did a good job, tell me. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.